Yay! Team Happy and Fit. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your evening to join us. I'm going to get started with just some announcements. Shout out to the people in Rock the Basics right now. We've got Rock the Basics going on, and I've seen a lot of people in there getting their stuff done. So shout out if you're doing it or if you have other coaches that are doing it. It's definitely like a college course for your business. So if you want to know how to work this business, definitely get into Rock the Basics. We also have a sneak peek happening this Monday. So you should definitely go on our team page and click that you are going, because then it'll show up in your news feed. And then I always make it a goal to have at least 5 people in that group checking it out. And listen, guys, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I had 10 people in the last sneak peek, 10. 1 signed up as a coach. And I'm saying that because I want to be real with you guys, and I know that that gets frustrating, but if I'd only invited 5, maybe none would have signed up. So I am letting you know, I'm in the trenches with you, that it's not always the easiest thing in the world, that you're going to have months where you recruit a lot of people and months where you don't, and that's just so very normal. So I'm right there with you. But I would definitely.
It's a gift. It's a gift what you get to give someone, because why are we on this team right now? And it's so beautiful. We have the coolest team ever, and we know, we're convicted, and we know what this is going to offer them. This is going to offer them happiness and positivity. You guys feel it every single day when we're in our team page and what we're doing. You just held up all of these signs from all over the country, and you're leaving, what Sarah said earlier, an impact. It's so cool because someone misses out if you don't show up. And I just think about the impact Team Happy and Fit is making across the country. It is insane. It is insane. Sorry, Sarah.
Yes. I just think about all the wonderful things it's done for me, all the awesome friendships I made, and I always just feel like I have such an obligation to share that with other people. So I definitely would recommend you think of it that way. And then I also wanted to point out that we still have a lot of time left in the months where if you are frustrated and not hitting your goals, there's still a ton of time left. And until it comes down to the wire at the end of the month, you still have so much time. I've gone from Success Club 0 to Success Club 6 in a matter of a few hours because I just didn't give up. And I made sure I got on my computer and I had those conversations. And I just talked. Sometimes it takes talking to 60 people to achieve what last month took you only talking to 10 people. Sometimes it's just like that. And then also, if you're not in the Team Happy and Fit resources page and you want to be, definitely message Julianne or I, and we'll get you in there, because the great thing is it's like Google for your business. Anything that you want to know about, whether it's inviting or the compensation plan or social media or whatever, anything you want to know about coaching is in there, so that if you have any questions about what the heck you should do with your business, you can figure it out on your own using that resource page. So if you're not in there and you want to be and you want those resources, just let one of us know. Otherwise, go ahead, Julianne.
Exactly. Okay, just like Team Happy and Fit fashion, let's go ahead and give a couple of shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Lindsay Mullenbach, became a 1-star diamond today. This is huge, you guys. This is seriously such a big deal, and it's just so beautiful to see her accomplish that goal. She is a natural introvert that has used that as a strength, and it has been amazing to watch her just soar and make all these real connections, and I'm just really excited about that. I had some really great quality conversations yesterday with Liz. I had a conversation with Mandis. It was really fun to see a year ago Mandis to Mandis now. I had a really great conversation with Suzanne and Kayla. I'm just looking at all these names here, and I'm just so fired up about our team and the community that it builds and what it is and what it represents. And people notice. They notice the energy. They notice we're warriors and for a way of fighting for health and happiness, because our main mission is to change lives, and our main mission is to show people that they can live a different life, that they don't have to live a complacent life, a life of hustle, not hustle, we hustle all the time, a life of, I want you to hustle, a life of rush and a life of overwhelm, that we get to live an opposite life. We get to live a present life with the people we love and be intentional with those around us. So any shout outs, go ahead and unmute yourself and give it. Oh, and Lauren, she completed the 21-day fix and looks amazing. If you guys haven't seen her results, I was like, bam, girl, yes. And Jayla, she's been rocking it out too and showing her transformation, and it fires me up. And Kayla, I'm sorry, I have so many, is halfway to Emerald, which is super cool. All right, I'm done now.
I'll do some shout outs. Let's see, Pam has an awesome team. I've definitely been taking notice of them. And Jeannie has some great before and after pictures that I know she posted recently. So from 21-Day Fix Extreme. So that's awesome. I had a great conversation with Randy today. She's one of my new coaches. Actually, she's under my husband, but she's one of my new coaches. And she just started 22-minute hardcores on her 3rd day, and she's going to share it with her boyfriend, who is actually in the military himself. So I think that's really cool. And just shout out to, I would say, Sarah, Alyssa, and Mariah, who I know have crazy freaking full-time schedules, just making it work and doing it anyways and not making excuses. I think that's awesome.
Anyone else? We're just fired up with stuff. Liz Colborn, you always have shout outs.
Oh, I do. I totally do. I want to give a shout out to my coach, Samantha, who's on tonight. Her and I have been talking the last couple days. She really wants to get in control of her routine and be present, and she's totally doing that. Last night she was on the call. She's on the call tonight. She's showing up. She's making her dreams happen. I want to give a special thanks to Sarah Freed, who's always super encouraging and supportive on this pregnancy journey. A shout out to Julianne, who I talked to last night. Oh my gosh, that was a game changer conversation. We were both laughing and crying and just connecting over the teacher life and just how crazy it is in our schedule, or how her schedule used to be, how my schedule is now. And man, just feel super convicted of my dreams. And I just love that girl. And she's amazing. I'm so thankful. And Lauren Lundberg's not on here, but that girl has been a saving grace in the last couple days too. She is such an amazing person, and I have loved the support I've been getting from her too. So I love all these beautiful faces. You guys are all rocking it out, and I love seeing all of your journeys on Facebook, and appreciate your support on my feed as well. So
You're so sweet. Anyone else? Okay, I'm really excited, Happy&Fit. I am so flippin' excited that this girl, Lauren, that I randomly messaged as a creep and just said, I'm blown away by your social media. Can you please speak on our team call? Like begging her, and, just thinking that I hope she can give us her time, because get out a pen and get out a notebook, because Lauren is going to drop some major bombs on you, and she might think that that's not true, but it is. Just simply talking with her today, I was crying. And, Lauren is married to Ryan, and she's been a coach for 3 years. She's been a coach longer than any of us on here. And she has such a story to share with you. She got her life transformed in a challenge group. And she had, if you don't know Kim Gorski, she's awesome, a firecracker. And Lauren told me, she said, Kim believed in me when I didn't believe in me. And she knew that I could do it. And when Kim would ask her to coach, Lauren said this. She said, who would want to be coached by a fat girl? That is what she said. And Kim said, people will want to be coached by you because of your heart and because of your mind and because of your personality and just because of who you are as a person. And I am just so excited for you to hear her, because this journey hasn't been easy. She almost quit 2 times. And when you told me that, Lauren, I was just like, girl, what? But what's really fun about Lauren and what I've noticed is just her unapologetic, raw, real, sincere self. And she just owns herself. Dude, I'm just like, yes. When I read your post, I feel captivated and I feel right with you in your journey and in your story, and it just moves me. And I just want you to know that what you're putting out there is changing the world. And you're all the way in North Carolina, and here I am all the way in California, and we're making a connection across the country. And think about where you are in this very moment, Team Happy and Fit, wherever you are in the United States. Think about that. Beachbody is real connections. It is so real because we're all over making an impact. And it's just unbelievable that Lauren would take the time to be on this call and to share with you the way she uses social media to share her story. And just her story in general is going to rock your world. So make sure you're on mute. Lauren, take it away. We are so grateful that you are here.
Oh my God, thank you. That was like the best introduction ever. You guys are awesome. I hear so many great things about you. It's such an honor to be on this call. I can't even believe that Julianne reached out and she wasn't a creep. I was so just happy that she reached out to me. So thank you for having me on tonight. So I'm going to start just a little bit about my story because I feel like it describes me really well. And like Julianne said, I wanted to quit twice. And actually one was just right after Summit. Which, it's supposed to be like the best time for a coach of the year. And I came back and I was miserable. So, I gained a lot of weight, after college because a lot of stuff had happened in my life. But at the same time, I was never really healthy. I had struggled with my weight my whole entire life. I bought a bag of Shakeology from a friend who was a coach at the discount coach price because I didn't want to pay the $140 fee. Because that's too much money to spend on myself, right? And I let it sit on my counter collecting dust for 6 months. I got married in the meantime. I wish I had opened that bag before I got married, but I didn't. And then after the honeymoon, I gained all my weight back and then some, and I was just miserable. And I knew I needed to take control. I had tried Weight Watchers, like Hydroxycut, Jenny Craig, you name it, I tried it. And I didn't have success with anything. So I saw that I had the bag of Shakeology sitting there, and I looked up on Pinterest Shakeology, and the thing that came up was the Shakeology Cleanse. If you guys don't know it, don't look it up. It's actually not condoned by Beachbody at all. It's very unhealthy. You're drinking a shake every day except for a lean protein salad for dinner for 3 days straight. And it's just like a shake with water. Like I was miserable. You couldn't have coffee. It was awful. So I actually posted a meme of like a coffee cup just like being miserable because I was a coffeeholic at that time. And my upline reached out to me, who was Kim Gorski. Many of you guys know her. She is awesome. Like you said, she's a firecracker. And she was like, what cleanse are you doing? And I told her it was a Shakeology cleanse. She told me she had just signed up for Beachbody. At that point, it was way different verbiage than it is now. She was kind of word vomiting about Beachbody like we all do in the beginning. And I still ended up joining her challenge group. And I loved the challenge group. Like I was waking up every morning and people were posting all these inspirational stuff. And if I wasn't checking in and working out, people were calling me out. And it was like they wanted to see me succeed more than I actually wanted to see myself succeed. And it was like this unbelievable thing that I had never gotten. Even with Weight Watchers, you check in and you weigh yourself, but it was just always such a like really intense, like crazy moment at Weight Watchers. You didn't feel safe. You didn't feel comfortable. Plus like the Weight Watchers, where I was at was in the middle of a mall where I grew up. So I was like hiding my face. I was like my hat on, like a hood over my face, just trying to be like super sneaky because I didn't want anybody to see that I was going to Weight Watchers. So these challenge groups changed my life. And after the challenge group, Kim approached me and asked me about the coaching opportunity. And like Julianne said, I said, who would want to be coached by the fat girl? Who would listen to me? I'm too fat. And, at the time, I actually weigh less than I weigh now. And I'll get to that in a second. But she was like, that's exactly why people will follow you. So I started doing the business and I kind of floundered for a while. I thought it was like a get rich quick thing. I would sign up 1 million coaches. I would make $1 million, like all within a first year of signing up, but I wasn't putting in the work. And if you don't put in the work, you don't get results with your weight loss, with your business, with your marriage, with your children, everything in life. If you don't put in the work, you don't get the results. So I also didn't have the belief in myself. I didn't have the belief in the company. I saw that this was happening for other people, but I didn't truly believe that it could happen for me because I still saw myself as the fat girl that nobody wanted to be coached by. So I had really great results. I did T25 and the 21-day fix. I lost 30 pounds. I felt amazing. I was sharing my transformation picture. And then my husband got relocated down here to North Carolina. I grew up outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. So it was a big transition for us. I didn't have any friends or family down here. Didn't know anybody at all. So we up and moved to this new state, and all within 3 months of each other, my husband fell and broke his elbow. Don't tell him I told you guys this, but he was playing on a skateboard in our garage, and I wanted to like kill him. But he was like being a big little boy, you know what I mean? Like boys do. So anyway, he fell and broke his elbow. I got rear-ended really badly and had whiplash pretty bad. And then I had to get an emergency appendectomy. And just all within 3 months of each other, these things just kept happening and life stresses got in the way. And I put my Shakeology order on hold. I disconnected from the team. My upline, Kim, would reach out to me and I wouldn't even want to hear from her. I just felt like I was being judged. You know what I mean? I was playing the victim and I wasn't letting anybody help me, which I now know that it's so important to ask for help, even if you don't feel like you need it. That's why we're all here and that's why we're a team. Ask for help. So I was struggling. You know, my husband and I were fighting more than we had ever fought in our whole entire relationship. And we've been together for 10 years in November. And it just, I had gained all my weight back that I had lost and then some. And it just wasn't healthy. I was in like the worst state of mind, you know, and was having really hopeless and worthless thoughts, like questioning my existence kind of thing. And then I remember Ryan and I got into one of the biggest fights we ever had. I was sitting at what's called a greenway here. It's kind of like a park because I didn't have anybody. Like I said, I had no friends or family. I had nowhere to go. And I was just sitting in my car for 3 hours crying. And I couldn't go home because I literally couldn't look my husband in the eye. And I said to myself, if I'm going to make this change, I need to actually make this change. I need to do the things that I never did before in order to get where I need to go. So it took a lot of motivation because I like to say I'm a very unmotivated person. And I love last night, Julianne actually spoke on our team call and she said, couch to coach is what she likes to call herself. I actually like to call myself couch to courageous. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God, we are connected in so many more ways than just the big hair. Like, this is awesome. So, you know, I just dug really deep and I was like, if I don't get my shit together, my marriage is going to fail. I'm going to be overweight. I'm predisposed to diabetes. It runs in my family. Cancer, heart disease, stroke, all that kind of stuff. I was like, if I keep going down this path, this is where it's going to go because I'm never going to get a hold of myself, my body, my relationship, my mental state, my mindset, everything. So what did I do? So simple, personal development. This was something that I fought for the longest time, you guys. Like, I didn't want to hear these truths that these authors were telling me in these books. I felt like I didn't need it. I felt like I was okay enough without personal development. And if you follow me, if you know my posts, you know that I struggle with anxiety and depression. And for me to be pushing off personal development was huge with my mindset, with the belief in myself in this business. So I was working at the time at a job that was about an hour away, so 2-hour commute. And I decided that I was going to download Audible and I was going to listen to books to and from work every single day as I sat in traffic. And I started with You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, which I'm sure you guys have all read. It's awesome. And I went to Brené Brown and I fell in love with Brené Brown and just everything she stood for, everything she talked about. I felt like she was talking directly to me. And the book Daring Greatly, if you guys haven't read that book, read it because that's helped so much with my own mindset, my vulnerability, and as well as my social media. Like all my posts come from that book. You know, I don't want to say all, yeah, you guys know what I mean. I was very inspired by that book and it allowed me to just be vulnerable with myself, you know, because I had gained weight. I was already the fat coach. I lost weight. Now I had gained weight back again. Who was going to listen to me now? You know what I mean? Like I was already having such trouble with the belief in myself at the beginning. So for me to be like, now I'm coming back and I'm coming back again, who's going to listen to me now? So I actually want to read a quote for you guys, the quote that kind of changed my life. It's from Darren Greatly. She says, owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy. The experiences that make us most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. I'm like, oh my God, that quote makes me so emotional, like every time I hear it. And I can type that out or take a picture and send it to you guys. But it's just like, you know, I knew that it was okay to be vulnerable. I knew it was okay to have that lack of belief in myself, but I was going to talk about it, because if I'm talking about it and other people, or if I'm talking about it, that means the chances are high that other people are going through it too. So that's kind of where my whole being genuine with social media came from. And that was around this time last year. So even though I've been a coach for almost 3 years in January, I like to say I was reborn in January 2016, because the belief was there and the whole mindset has been different. And my business has just grown. When you actually have that belief in yourself, it takes off. You know, it's an amazing, amazing thing. So I started just being really real and raw and relatable with my posts, the good and the bad. I stayed really consistent. I was showing up, and I was getting a lot of questions. People were asking me how I was being so honest and real and relatable with my social media. And, you know, I'm a very open person. I'm a very open book. I don't mind talking about things that a lot of people are scared to talk about. I've kind of been like that way my whole entire life. And I just said, I'm going to be an open book. You know, I want people to think that they're my best friend before I even have that first conversation with them. So when people reach out to me and they say, I feel like I already know you, that's like the hugest compliment for me, because that's what I strive for through my social media. And it makes forming so much easier because they already know who I am. I'm not hiding anything. And they feel like they can be open with me just as I've been open with them. So I have 5 ways that I like to be genuine through my social media. And the first one is just be authentically you. Share your story exactly how you would be talking to a friend. If you're weird, be weird. You know, like I loved when Julianne was saying last night, she's like, I'm a weirdo. And I love that Beachbody lets me be a weirdo, you know, because I say that all the time. Like, I'm so weird. I'm such an awkward person. I feel like Beachbody allows me to be that, because I'm finding my tribe. I'm finding people that relate to me. I'm finding people who love that and who I love because they have those same qualities. And I'm just being authentically me. For the longest time, I felt like I needed to be somebody else in order to grow this business. You know, Kim Gorski, my upline, she's a rock star, and she has such a way with words and such a way with people, and she's just flying, she's soaring. I felt like I had to be more like her. You know, I felt like I always had to be more like professional in a way, and just not being me. And when I finally started being authentically me and sharing things like I would be talking to friends, it has made such a difference. So if you're questioning, and it goes along with the comparison too, you know, sometimes you just have to put blinders on and not look at what other people are writing, not look at what other people are doing. Like Julianne said, I've been in this business for 3 years, longer than anybody else on this call. And I was diamond, I lost diamond 2 weeks ago. So it's like, you know, it doesn't matter where anybody else is at, you just have to be yourself. So number 2 is have a plan. And after I go through these 5, I'm going to share with you guys my strategic social media marketing schedule. And this came about because I was selling only workout programs, and I couldn't figure out why. So not a challenge pack, not Shakeology, simply a workout program, mostly T25 and 21 Day Fix, because that's what I was doing. And then I started looking at my social media, and that's all I was posting about. I would post a picture of myself with a sweaty selfie. I called it my bread and butter post at the time too, and I thought it was so cool because these were like my bread and butter posts. Selfie, inspirational quote, picture of my heart rate monitor with how many calories I burned. And this started because when I first started my journey, I really wanted to do it for my own accountability. So if people saw me not posting those pictures, they could call me out. But once it got more into like the CEO mindset, I saw like, oh my God, I'm only selling these workout programs because I'm only promoting workouts. And I'm not promoting different workouts. I'm just promoting the workouts that I'm doing. I'm not showing, you said Lauren on your team was doing the 21-day fix. You know, I wasn't talking about her. I wasn't talking about Lisa, who just started the 22-minute hardcore. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. But, you know, I was just posting about what I was doing and I wasn't selling it. So I created a marketing calendar that I like to stick by. I've kind of gotten away from it, which I need to get back to it now, because you're talking about coaching, you're talking about Shakeology, you're talking about a workout, you're talking about the connection that you have with people, you're talking about family life, you're talking about everything that you can talk about. So you're a well-rounded person and you're a well-rounded coach, and people take you seriously and they know that it's not just about the workouts. Beachbody is not just about the workouts because they can see you doing all of these things. So I actually, I like to have plans for my social media weeks, and I would theme my weeks out. So some of my posts would be like some of my themes in the past were self-love, compassion for yourself, fear, belief in yourself, trusting the process, empowerment. And I was kind of breadcrumbing throughout the week these different themes. And if I had people liking every single one of my posts that week, I would reach out to them because I would know that's what they needed. They needed to be empowered. They needed a little bit of self-love. And it was kind of like, okay, they're really liking these Shakeology posts. They're obviously really interested in Shakeology, or at least, you know, want to know more about it. So once I started theming my weeks and breadcrumbing all throughout the days with my posts, it was easier to connect with people because I knew what they were in need of. Number 3 is personal development. Gonna repeat it, you guys, because it changed my life. Personal development. And it's one of the 4 vital behaviors for a reason. Beachbody has us do it for a reason because it makes us better people and it helps us help other people to become better people as well. But I'm not just talking about reading books. I'm talking about showing up to your team calls. I'm talking about doing Rock the Basics trainings. I'm talking about listening to the National Wake Up Call. I know you guys have the Team Fit and Free 101, doing that kind of stuff. You know, connecting, showing up, doing these trainings like they're your oxygen and just wanting to know more. That will get you to the next step because you're in the know. You know what's going on with your own mindset because you're doing your own personal development. So just lump all that together. Personal development, team calls, just show up. It's so simple. And, you know, they make the Rock the Basics easy for us to follow them no more than 20 minutes a day because they help. And they don't want us to reinvent the wheel because these are tried and true, proven systems that work, and they're teaching us their ways. And like, you guys know, not all the other teams have this. And just the fact that we have this at our fingertips is like an insane, insane thing. And I don't know why people don't like taking advantage of them. Sorry, I need to take a little drink. Sorry about that. So number 4 is community and empathy. Always putting yourself in other people's shoes. I like to think of who was Lauren 3 years ago? Who am I talking to? That's my tribe. Me 3 years ago. What were my pain points? What were my needs and wants? What was I scrolling through Facebook wishing I saw somebody posting that could make a difference in my life? I love this quote from Jen Sincero in You Are a Badass when she says, be an alien, because you want to act like this is your first day on earth and this is your first encounter with a person and you don't know anything about them. Like Julianne said last night, be interested instead of interesting. You want to ask them every single thing about them, how their nutrition is, how, if they, you know, my tribe has struggled with their weight their whole lives. What have you tried? Why didn't it work? And most of the time it comes down to mindset, you know? So I love that. I love it, be an alien, and act like you're talking to yourself when you first started. before your journey. Number 5, the last one, is just consistency and relatability. Even when you're in the trenches. So I go through a lot of peaks and valleys. You know, I have really high ups and I have really low downs. And I share those low downs even when I don't feel like it. Because, you know, being a coach is not all sunshine and butterflies. It's tough. It's hard. It's hard losing weight if you're on your weight loss journey. It's hard maintaining weight loss if you're on your weight loss journey. So sharing it, yeah, it's life. Life is hard. Sharing that about your journey will make you so much more relatable than those coaches that are just posting like, oh my God, I love my team. Everything's so great all the time, you know, and that's wonderful if you want to make a post like that, like one time a day. But you're not real if you're talking about that all the time, because let's be real, who doesn't have some stressors in life that are making things hard for you? And just being consistent. So even when you don't feel like posting, put something up there. Even if it's just a quote, even if it's like a question, just something to get some kind of engagement from other people, something just so that you know, so that your people know that you're showing up. And most people don't know that we are supposed to post 3 to 5 times a day, you guys. So if you post just one thing that day and that's all you post, at least you're posting something. You're being there for your tribe. You're showing up for your people. And that's just so, so important. So those are the 5 pillars. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Can you guys see that? Okay, cool. I feel bad because I didn't take out my social media. I should have like taken out my posts to like show what goes on with like each one. But I actually have, I will send these to Julianne. I have a blank one too for you guys to fill out. So this is the strategic social media marketing calendar, and this is what's going to make you more well-rounded with your posts. This is what's going to help your business grow. And you guys, when I started doing this weekly, my business grew so much. So like I said, I've been a coach for 3 years. I started over in January with nothing, from scratch. I didn't have any coaches underneath me. I didn't have any customers underneath me. My husband had canceled his Shakeology at that point too. So I started over. And ever since I started using this, I've been hitting Success Club 10 pretty consistently. I got Emerald. Like I said, I had Diamond. I lost it, but I'm going to get it back. So, you know, it works. And you have to create what works for you. You have to create what works for your tribe. So I'm not going to go through every single piece of this because you can see it all on your team page. But we know that the 3 main things for social media are entertaining, education, and empowering. So you want to make sure you're doing all 3 of these things and sporadically throughout the week. You don't want to have one full day where you're just educating people because they're going to get bored with you. And then you don't want to have one full day where you're just entertaining people because then that's not moving your business forward. That's why you have to have the mix of those 3 together. So I love, I stopped doing the workout posts. I actually have to update this now that I'm looking at it. I stopped doing the workout posts just because I got away from that. You know, like I was doing my workouts and sharing them on Snapchat, and I just didn't feel like I needed to share it on Facebook anymore. But if that's what your tribe wants to see, if they love the workouts, post the workouts. Something silly. I love to make like weird little memes of me like doing push-ups or like trying to do push-ups and then making like a funny quote on them. And like meme generator is a great one if you want to make memes. It's awesome. I love Transformation Tuesdays. You guys know I have like a pretty big transformation, so I share mine a lot. But I stopped sharing mine as much as I started sharing other people's. You know, people don't want to see your transformation as much as they want to see other people's transformations because that shows that you're helping other people and not just yourself. So do yours, do somebody else's. Just don't keep sharing the same picture over and over again because people are going to get bored with it. But at the same time, people aren't going to remember what you posted like a week ago. There's so much going on with social media. There's so many things coming at you with technology that people probably aren't even going to remember what you posted yesterday. So that's why it's so important to just constantly be like putting these new things out and posting 3 to 5 times a day. Business-oriented questions are always great. Like I posted something like, losing weight is hard. Being overweight is hard. Choose your hard. So kind of like a business-oriented question, not really business-oriented there, but, just getting people thinking. And you don't have to write some profound, I felt like I started writing like paragraphs all the time, like really long posts every day. And then I realized I don't have to write a profound post to be interesting to people. If they know my story, I can talk about whatever I want to talk about as long as it coincides with my tribe and my niche. And you guys, I've done a ton of research on my tribe. I've Googled what I would want to Google, Lauren, 3 years ago. How to lose weight quick. Shortcuts to losing weight. Like I've Googled things and like saw how many people read them. And then if that related to my tribe, I would post about it. It just, when you do research on your tribe and your niche, I don't know if you guys have actually done like the avatar call. It's so much better to know what your tribe is looking for, because then you can give them the post that they're wanting. So like I said, I'm going to share this with you guys. I'll send them to Julianne after the call. But basically, this is my social media marketing calendar. And like I said, I theme out the weeks. So, self-love. I would add self-love into every single day, depending on what the post would be. So I work out because I love my body, not because I hate it. Self-love, stuff like that, like memes. Like I said, I'm really bad at doing push-ups, but yeah, I'm trying to get better. Motivation, and that'll probably be like a quote over me about like loving my body and how I went from hating my body to loving my body no matter what size I'm at, because that's what I struggled with my whole life, and that's what my tribe struggles with. And I have the blank one too for you to fill out. I actually need to go back. I'm glad I'm sharing this because I need to go back and kind of fill out my own blank one, just because this is about 9 months old. And my business has evolved since then. So, but I really wanted to share with you guys like my top 5 pillars for being genuine with your social media. And, I'm having a struggle now with becoming a leader because I want to be everybody's best friend. And I'm not asking the hard questions where they need to be asked. So there comes a line where you have to stop being everybody's best friend when you're a coach. If you're coaching people, customers, be their best friend, yes. But with coaching, you have to ask them the hard questions, because if you don't, who else is going to?
I am blown away. Like, I know that Team Happy and Fit has a lot of questions, but Lauren, can you share your screen? And this is going to be so random, but can you just go to your Facebook wall and just show them what your social media looks like? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but they just have to see it. And I want you to kind of walk us through it. But one thing I loved is if you don't put in the work, you won't get the results. Mm-hmm. And it just is so cool. I'm really excited. So Team Happy and Fit, please write down your questions and we'll open up the lines in a minute. But this girl knows what she's talking about. And I love that Lauren is so real and raw and saying, this is what I struggle with. This is what I'm really good at. This is how I'm working on myself. This is what I'm going to continue to do, because that is leadership. That is what we do. And being a leader is so hard. So take it away, Lauren.
Cool. No, I'm glad you did. I actually, as I was pulling up my social media marketing, I was like, I should have pulled posts out. I don't know why I didn't do that. So tonight, I actually put a post up that was like very dear to my heart. It was like a coming out post with something that I got diagnosed with in July that I've been struggling with. And like I said, I've been an open book, and this was something I haven't shared. And it was weighing on my heart so much so that I felt like I needed to share it 2 months later after I found out. So I like to start by grabbing them. Like, but you look so happy. You have nothing to be sad about. Do you know how many people have it worse than you? People in my tribe who are dealing with mental health issues, they're going to be like, oh my God, people tell me that stuff all the time. So it's like, these little, I don't even know what it's called, above the fold, I guess, you know, like that would be like back in the newspaper days. You want to put above the fold something that's going to grab your audience. And then below the fold is like when you like talk about the story. You know what I mean? So like obviously continue reading. That's going to be more about the story. And like this one gets pretty long. I write a lot of really long stuff, you guys. So if you follow me, it's long, but it's all from the heart. And it's just, I have a lot to say. You know, you want to make a picture that really captivates your people, that captivates your tribe, that goes with your posts. And, you know, I think from this picture, anybody in my tribe knows exactly what I'm talking about without even reading it. So that was my post tonight. I started posting more about my daily life because I was able to like go out to a coffee shop. I didn't mention, I actually got laid off from the job that I was working at in January, and I decided to do Beachbody full time. So that's been a blessing. And I like to talk about it now because I never really talked about it before. So just like change of scenery, I get to get up and go to a coffee shop whenever I feel like it. The other day I posted something about how I got to visit my husband and surprise him at work and eat lunch with him because I get to work from home. And that's a lot of thing that like a lot of wives would love to do for their man, you know? I did a Transformation Tuesday today because of my own struggles. I'm struggling. I'm kind of in a funk right now. So I needed to see my pictures side by side. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to share it. And I said, I didn't come this far to only come this far. You know, I talked a bit about when you lose sight of where you're going, look how far you've come. Lately, I've been feeling like I'm coasting through life, and people just really love to see that you're in the trenches with them. I'm going to go. Just a timeline photos.
And can we just look at the amount of notifications you have? To me, that shows that you're creating an interaction. Like if you guys look at your notifications in the morning, and if there are none there, that's a sign to me that you're not engaging enough, or like that's something I evaluate myself, where I have a goal to have 5 inbox messages every morning, and then it went to 10, and then it went to 20, and now it goes to a lot just with the team. But the fact that you have 28 notifications for your pictures and your content means that you are connecting with your tribe on a whole nother level. I don't even get that. Like that's unreal to me. It's beautiful, and your pictures are just beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And one thing that I can say is whenever I see a quote, I won't just post that quote. I'll take that quote and I'll put it like this. You know, I'll make my own picture. I have my colors of my brand. You know, it's yellow and pink. So I'll do most of my stuff in yellow and pink because that's just, you know, my vibe. And people are like, oh, you know, especially if you're scrolling through and people are like, oh, there's just a pink picture with a white background. That's probably Lauren. Just like Julianne, with you and Team Happy and Fit, the pictures that you put up, they're all very consistent, and you know that it's made by you, and you know that it's for your team. So it's very important when you're thinking about branding yourself and looking at your niche, looking at your tribe, to stay consistent with fonts, stay consistent with colors, just because people can pick you out. Because when they're scrolling through, they're mindlessly scrolling, what's going to make them stop? If they already like following you, these are the things that are going to make people stop. So this was just a motivational quote. I loved this quote. I thought it was beautiful. And I took it, slapped it on word swag, and ready to go.
Word swag. That's what I had a feeling that's what was word swag, because someone just asked. Yeah. Word swag is amazing, you guys. I use it all the time on my Instagram as well. It's so cool.
I love it. Even just, you know, putting your face to I started doing this very recently. Like as in the last year, putting a quote on your face. People want to see your face. You know, they don't want to see somebody like Brendan Burchard. He's everywhere. Nobody knows who he is. Us coaches know who he is, but The person who is you're trying to get to buy a challenge pack, they have no idea who he is and they don't really care. Why would they care? You know, so it's like just putting your face to everything.
Can you go to that downward dog one? I love that. I love just reading that right now. Look at that, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool, Lauren.
This was talking about baby steps towards exercise, baby steps towards fitness. I'm going to be creating a baby steps towards a healthier lifestyle group.
Love that.
And I don't know when I'm going to come out with it. I'm still creating the content, but I'm already breadcrumbing.
Boom.
I'm already putting this out here. And that was at the beginning of September. So even if I roll it out in January, I'm going to continuously talk about how to do like little baby steps in your life up until then. And when I finally roll it out, people are going to be like, oh, like she's already kind of shown me the value through what she's posting. So, you know, I'm going to be more able or more willing to do it because I trust her already and I see that she's getting results.
Exactly. And you know what? Even with your stories, first of all, your pictures are bright and beautiful and eye-catching. I stop at them all the time. And secondly, I feel like I'm inside your brain or you're inside my brain. And that's my favorite kind of social media post where, you know, Liz Colborn called me yesterday and we had an amazing talk and she said, your post just got me. Like it rocked me. It totally spoke to me. And that's what I want. I want to be raw and real, but every time I read your stories, I'm right there with you inside your brain or you're inside mine or you're talking to me. And it's just unbelievable how you use, and I can see what you're doing now. It makes sense to me where you Google your tribe. What do they need to hear? What are my like, what am I thinking? Mm-hmm. And what did I used to think? And where am I going? And where can I take people with how I used to feel and how I'm feeling now? And what can I do for them? It's just so amazing. Look at that. You're so unapologetic with that. Oh, girl.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, like, that's what I was talking about. I was like, you just own it. Lizzie Parker on our team, this would be a post that she would do. Like, that is awesome.
I mean, and people hear the F word and they're like, oh my God, she said that, you know, and I'm just like, whatever, you're not part of my tribe. Goodbye.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't really mind. It's if you don't want to hear it, but the journey fucking sucks. Excuse my language if you don't like it, because I know not everybody.
You're not your tribe, right? But you had 61 people that are part of your tribe.
But like the process, if you're on a weight loss journey, it sucks. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. And
that's awesome.
Fun. You know, it's hard to maintain. Okay, so this was an example of a meme. I had just gotten cavities filled.
Oh no.
And I was trying to drink my pre-workout on the way home and it was literally dripping down my face. And I didn't want to go live because I was like, this is ridiculous, but I'm going to create a meme about it. So this is the meme that I'm talking about, you know, and then you just say something silly like, does Energize come in IV form? I wish it did.
That's hilarious. And you know what's funny? Like I call it superhero juice. Like that's totally what my tribe calls it, that team calls it.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like moms, teachers, overworked people, you need this. And like, I love that you're just like, dude, like, this is what it is for me. Can I have it in an IV? And that's so true. I'm like, I want it in an IV. That is amazing, girl. If you're not following Lauren, you can go to her Facebook and you can click following and you can seriously get her stuff. Let's open this up for questions. First of all, can we just be like, yes, girl? Like that brought so much clarity for me and what I want to do. And I love that. Oh, that was just brilliant. So any questions you have, go ahead and mute yourself. Or not mute yourself, unmute yourself, and go ahead and ask, like, this is the person to ask. If you need a change and you're not feeling traction in your social media, I hope that this is a wake-up call. This is saying, hey, look, it's not too late. You can make your social media game so amazing that you connect with someone who gets you and they want to work with you and that they love you for your freakishly weird self. Like that's what's up. Like people like we started this call off with Justin Bieber. You already know. And so what questions do you have? Go ahead and open it up.
Do you start every call with Justin Bieber or the Backstreet Boys? I have to ask.
I see, and how she knows BSB is my jam is we always start it with song, with a music.
I love it.
We love dancing. Sarah Freed loves dancing too. Just ask her. I'm good for her.
She's like, no.
Yeah, she does it anyway. I like make her do it, but yeah, we always start off with music because I think it's boring when you start Zooms with nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna totally bring that back to my team. I think that's the only thing we're missing.
people will like sit there and they're just like, I remember I'd just be like, take my face off and just be like, oh my gosh, like, don't talk to me. And then now I'm like, what's up? Like, let's dance. You know what I mean? Unless I actually have to do stuff. Any questions? Come on. This is brilliant.
This was so, so good, Lauren.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I was like so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are ranked number 47. Is it 47 or 57?
57. So we have,
sorry.
we have two. So Sarah Freed is my success partner. We have 2 teams and downlines and Team Happy and Fit. So both of ours are in the top 500 out of 400.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Seriously, so honored to be asked to speak on this call.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're amazing. If you guys you guys all better go follow her. Like, but at the same time, don't be like Lauren. Be like you and own you, and people want to work with you. And it's just the difference we get to make. Like, what's your favorite thing about Beachbody, Lauren? Like, what is, like, we know the freedoms it provides, and I love that you can go to coffee, and like that's what's up. But like, what is it that makes it different than all those other things that you sought? Like, you tried everything else. So why Beachbody? Why your team? Why are you doing this?
Oh my God, the connections, the real connections and relationships that you build are unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And I've spent my whole life trying to fit in all the wrong places. I turned to alcohol, drugs in college, just so that I could fit in and have people like me. But those people never really liked me, and I never really liked myself. So when I found this community, I found a team that supports me even when I don't love myself. It was like a life changer. I've never had this kind of thing before. And I didn't mention this before, but on my wedding day, I actually said to my bridesmaids, like, why is my husband marrying me? And that is because I didn't love myself. I went my whole entire life not loving myself. And finally, when I found the connections and the relationships and the people and this business that makes you do personal development, I finally was able to learn to love myself. And every day is a struggle. Not gonna lie, every day I wake up and I have a hard time believing that. And that's why personal development is so important in my life, and as for self-care. But those connections, I'm sure you guys feel it too. You're on this call. You obviously love the connections that you're making. And it's not so much the friendships. It's like a sisterhood. It's like, it's a family. Exactly. And I can't imagine anything else in my life.
I know. I'm like crying. I'm not kidding. I'm crying. And the reason I'm crying is because the fact that you went your whole life not loving yourself, and something so silly like Beachbody, when other people who don't get it say something like that, where you're like, you don't get it. Mm-hmm. Like, this is going to transform your life. And it's not even just with fitness and nutrition. It is going to change the way you feel, the way you think, the way you act, the way you deal with people. And I just think about how unconventional Beachbody is, that it's not the norm. And we have been fed what norm is. Like, this is what you need to do. This is how it has to be. This is the order it's going to go, and you're going to be miserable, and you're going to be coasting, and it's just going to be this. Beachbody is opposite of that. It's saying, yeah, you need to step outside your comfort zone. You can't run away from that stumbling block. You have to deal with it. And yet you have to deal with people, and you have to be raw. You have to be real. You have to be authentic, and you have to be a goal crusher, dream bigger, and just like all of these things that will make you the person you were created to be. And not many people are willing to go unconventional like that. And they're so willing to just be that average person that is just going to be the same every single day, when every day we wake up and it's like, I'm going to live with intention. I'm going to live on purpose. And Lauren, when I look at you, you may go through a lot of valley moments, and you might go through a lot of peaks and stuff, but girlfriend, you're living on purpose each day when I see you and when I talk to you. And just the fact that you can be so here with us right now, sharing your story, because if you don't feel the love now, I have goosebumps of, I wish I could just give you a hug right now, because
thank you. Virtual hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freed, you got anything, sister?
Julian, can I go off what you were just saying? Sorry.
Yes.
I just wanted to add to what Julian was saying. I was just, while she was talking, I was just thinking about how this journey also helps us